Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, the podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsey, and I'm coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarning adventures, please follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as AlwaysYarnFirst. Welcome, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd. Okay, it's going to be a wild ride, this one. Before I get into the episode, it is October, which means my co-hosting of a knit along and crochet along also, it has started for October 1st through December 31st. That is the Stripe Along 2024. I am hosting on my Ravelry page where you can post all your finished objects. There's also a chat thread. Amy from Happy Little Yarn is hosting on her Facebook, which I have linked below. And then Jesselyn Janice is hosting on Instagram. So you just use the hashtag StripeAlong2024 for entrance of prizes. Whips are allowed, knitting and crochet, self-striping yarn, or anything you stripe yourself, all included. We just ask that you don't use machine knitting like cranked socks, sweater that was cranked or whatever like that. Has to be handmade, the whole thing. So, hope you will join us for that. All right, this is episode 73. And if you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy what you see and you stay for a while. I do a traditional podcast style, and I name every episode after a song title that I find appropriate for that week, mood, whether it's life, knitting, crafting, whatever. So, because before my love of yarn was my love of music. And so this week I have named it Love and Happiness. This is by Al Green, and I have a Spotify playlist with every single one of my songs from every episode of this podcast. Down below, it is on Spotify, and you can follow along with that if you would like to. All right, so this episode, we have a finished object, cast-ons, whips, a podcaster highlight, and then we're going to go into goals because it's a new month. Before I do acquisition / vacation chat, because that is going to be a big portion of this podcast. I will have timestamps below where you can move around if you so choose. So let's get started. What I am wearing, I am put on a knit object for you guys. I am wearing the first ever rocket tee I made. This is by Tanis Lavallee, and I will have a link to my Ravelry project page if you'd like to know the yarn and everything. I don't go into that. Love this shirt. I just finished another one, and I also did the DK version. So great pattern. All right, so let's get into finished objects. I only have one, and it is my September Desert Vista Dyeworks DVD socks. I am doing the year-long knit along where you knit a pair of socks from start to finish within the 1 month. If you follow along for the whole year, she dyes a specific color just for those who have finished. So I only have 3 months to go. So this is the colorway Camels in the Desert. I thought it was very fall looking. So I'm sorry if this video gets a little blown out. Usually with the natural lighting in my dining room, it's great, but I have like this crazy bright spot, so I'm trying to position my head right where it's at. So sorry if I get a little blown out. But I just used, these were top down. I used my basic top down socks, a pattern by me that is free on Ravelry. And I do the shadow wrap heel, Kitchener the toe. Yeah, so that is my only finished object, but I got them done for the month. So I have some new cast-ons, y'all. So let's start with cast-ons. All right. I will go in order. How about that? All right, so literally after I finished podcasting the last time, I cast on a hat. This is in a NicNacKnits bag. I'm not sure if she's making bags anymore. But this is the Court of Foxes hat by Tristan of Dragon Hoard Designs. I have made this hat before. I specifically cast on for a project to take on vacation. And so I'm kind of into the ribbing, I'm finished with the ribbing. I'm just starting the cable words are hard. Cable patterning, but you can't see it yet. So mostly what I did on vacation was the ribbing. This was kind of what I was taking on the subway in New York. I did a twisted rib. Actually, no, I didn't. No, I did not. But anyways, so yeah, barely, like maybe 2 rows into the cabling part. I am using Urth Harvest DK. This is a yarn I picked up at the shop where I work, which is Arkansas Yarn Co. And I picked up a skein of this. I love this color. It is Cosmic Purple Carrot. And they name their colors by how they dye the yarn. So, love this blue. So yeah, not much to show on there. But I love the ribbing. All right. That was my first cast on. Then what did I cast on next? Okay, so this cast on, part of my acquisitions, I have another tale of woe we'll go into during the whips. But I had brought 3 projects to vacation. And one of them, after I realized what happened, which I'll talk about shortly, I was so sad I didn't even want to work on it anymore. So one of the yarn shops I went to, I mostly had everything mailed to me because I got quite the haul. But I had in mind a new small project to start. So this whole project is acquisitions, but it's from 2 different stores. So the bag I have it in was the last yarn shop I went to, which is the Mermaids Purl. I just got this cute little canvas bag. The yarn I am using, I picked up from Skein Yarn Shop. This is, I'm working on the Party Line Scarf, which is a pattern by my friend Casey Apple of YoungFolk Knits. It uses 1 skein of sport weight. All right, so it was 1 skein of sport. And when I went in the shop, I found this. Again, that's blowing out. It's not as bright. It's, yeah, more like that. This is Le Garcon Fluff. And this is the colorway Dancing Flamingo. So this is a sport weight fluff. And yes, I do have the label here. So this is a 50 gram, 219 yards. It's 55% baby alpaca, 18% fine merino wool, 17% mulberry silk, 10% yak, and it says 100% dreamy. So, yeah. That is the label. And it's lovely. So here's where I am. So I cast this on while I was on vacation. Started down here. Very easy. So yeah, enjoying this pattern a lot. Very, very fun. Love, love, love the fluff. So this one I had Justine cake up for me, and then I also bought Chowgo needles for the right size because I didn't bring extra needles. I just brought what I was currently working on, and I took this with me, and everything else they shipped, which we will talk about a bit later. So yes, enjoying that pattern quite a bit. All right. Next I cast on I do the hand quotes because this was previously a cranked sock. So I have mentioned that we have a circular sock machine at the shop, and we haven't been offering it yet for people because we want to make sure that we can crank many socks and get through any disasters or errors. Because if people are buying the yarn and we crank it and we make a mistake, we need to know how to fix it. So I've been intermittently cranking my own socks from my own yarn, so it's no waste to the shop. But I had an old skein of Felici yarn from Knit Picks, which they don't make Felici anymore. This is 50 grams, 218 yards in the colorway Hotshot. So I'm pretty sure I showed this. So you see this is what's new. So this is 50 grams. Had waste yarn right here. And so it looked similar to this on the end. And I decided to start on these. These will be shorter socks. I mean, not really for me because I like short socks. I don't even think these will be true shorties. So how I will do this is I put toes on the ends. So I've done one. I just added from scrap yarn I had, some navy. So I will do the other one. And then I will fold them in half and again pick up my stitches and cut the yarn here. And then I will measure out how long my foot needs to be and so on. Well, here I will do cuffs. So once I cut this, I will do cuffs on each one, and they will be 2 separate socks. And then I will measure to figure out where I need to input my Afterthought heel. So yeah, but I did this 2 days ago. Yeah. And I am an affiliate for Knit Picks, and for the month of October, the coupon code below is worth 15% off. So if you'd like to order and would like a coupon, look below and there should be a coupon code for you to use. All right, one more cast on, and it's my October DVD socks. Always in the bag that I use, my favorite sock bag, Trappings and Trinkets. And this month, I am using, here is the label, and the colorway is Caribbean Colors. And here it is caked up. Again, blowing out, although that pink is very bright. So I cast this on yesterday, the 1st, and I decided to do toe up this time. So here I am. I'm not through all the colorways yet. So, and I think these are going to be a gift to a friend. So yeah, I always keep a list in my phone of people that would mention that they would like hand knit socks, and I just put their shoe size in there. And after I pick what colors I want, I kind of look at them and look at my list and think, oh yeah, this looks like so-and-so. I find that that's a good way to get through gift knits, because I have found that if I'm still knitting what I want to knit on, like I pick the color first. I don't pick who I'm going to knit for. I pick the color that I want to knit on, and then I work it up. But once I'm knitting what I like, then it doesn't matter if it's a gift or not, because I've already picked the yarn. So it's something about a gift knit when you're knitting something for someone else, that they pick the color, they pick the pattern. It seems, I can't think of the word I want to use, but it's not as fun for me to knit on. I'm happy to make gifts, but I find myself not reaching for it as much. Whereas if I just pick what I want to work on and then do it like normal, and then it's no pressure on me. So that was long-winded. I'm sorry. All right. So October socks. That is all my cast-ons. Mostly cast-ons this time. So I did work on 3 whips, so let's get into those. All right, so I don't know. This one's in a monster bag because I just wanted to use this bag for something. This is my Anesidora shawl by Lindsey Fowler. This, I am using the Gritty Knits All Year Advent. You get 2 colors a month. Plus, I'm using the white color from Arkansas Yarn Co. on her Yummy Plush Base Wedding Cake. And I am caught up. So here's the beginning. I am in the decrease half of this shawl. So last time I showed it, I had done, sorry for the noise, I'm trying to find my stitch marker. There it is. It's white. That's why it's hard to see. You can see right there. So last time I think I showed it. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. So I finished basically 2 months, I think, since I last shown it. So yeah, very happy with this beautiful rainbow project. It's always on this side where you cut the yarn. It's gorgeous. So I am caught up, so I will just have October in a few weeks. She ships out the 13th of the month, so you can jump in on this anytime and pick up on the colors she has. Oh, and this bag, I forgot to mention the bag. This bag says Love It Amsterdam. It kind of reminds me of the Oh Wow bags, but I don't know. It doesn't have the Oh Wow specialty label. But that's very similar to it. I bought this in Kansas City at a yarn shop. So, love it. All right, we'll finish with the Tale of Love. So, let's get into the Diggory tea. This is in a Black Pearl Magic bag. This is one of the ones I took on vacation. I actually had cast this on and barely started it. Now the light has moved. I had barely started it before vacation. I cast this on one. It was on my Make 9. So I've been wanting to have it. It's been in my stash waiting for me to make this. And it's bottom up. So I knew it was going to be a lot of stockinette stitch, which was great. And I worked on this the most on vacation. So I will even put a picture in of where I was on the first flight out of Little Rock. You can see that I had barely started it. So it is kind of bunched up on my needles. So it won't look like much, but you will see how much progress I made. So here is my stitch marker right here. This is the tiny, tiny bit of ribbing right here. All the rest of this is pure stockinette. Look how fun this color is. This is Charming You in the color Oceanic Oasis, and that is dyed by, oh my goodness, why did I just remember her name? Like it was on the tip of my tongue. That's really annoying. I had to pause it and look it up because it was making me crazy. Maureen is the dyer behind Charming You, and I love her. And I have her on my phone, and I messaged her when I was on vacation, and I told her, I said, Maureen, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite color I have ever knit with. It is my jam. I love, if you've been here a while, my favorite colors are blue, hot pink, and hot orange. I mean, seriously, it could not be any better. I'm so excited about this. And even though this is stockinette, which usually bores me to tears after so long, I have loved watching these bright pops of color come out. So I have knit on over half the body while I was on vacation. So I'm so excited about it. I'm hoping to keep my momentum now that I'm home and the realization of how many whips I have, which I will talk about when we talk about goals. But I really, really want to wear this because I love it so, so much. And it's been so much fun. So the Diggory tee is a pattern by Devin Ventre, who is knitting with purling. So super awesome pattern, awesome yarn. Definitely worked the most on that. So that was my success story for vacation knitting. Let's get into another tale of woe. So the last thing I took with me for vacation projects is a vanilla sock. I had mentioned that I was to the toe on my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. I actually finished up the toe when I got home. But I wanted to take a fresh sock so that I could have a very small project bag to take with me on the subway and the bus and whatever. So I decided the perfect thing is the vanilla sock pattern that a vanilla sock that I needed to start the second one, and I had been kind of slow-mo working on this for a friend. I wanted to make socks for a friend who was moving. She has moved a few months ago. And I finished up the sock one. She likes very tall socks. So I made tall socks. If you've been here, you've seen them. I was even asking for like, how tall should they be? Finished the first sock. So I'm like, great, I will take this and cast on for the second sock. So I literally cast this on. It's just a vanilla sock, toe up. I cast this on in New York, worked on it. I did not bring my sock ruler because my favorite sock ruler is this one, which, doesn't fold down in a project bag. I thought, oh, well, I have the first sock. I will just, if I get to that part where I will just line it up with the other one and know when I need to start the heel. So I worked on this sock quite a bit. And then part of our vacation was in New York. And part of it was in Rhode Island. So I worked on this in New York a little bit, as you can see. No problem. And then we were in an Airbnb in Rhode Island. So every night, I had my own room in Rhode Island. And I got out my sock one night and I'm like, oh, I just want to see how far I am. And I went to look for my full sock, which I had in my bag, which this bag is Laura Knit for Brains, by the way. And it wasn't in there. And I looked through all of I had a giant duffel bag as a suitcase and a little carry-on bag. Couldn't find it anywhere. So I lost the sock one. So this, which would have finally been sock 2, is now sock 1 again. I'm thinking what must have happened is, I remember I was working on this one night in the chair in the living room in New York, and I'm wondering if it fell out and got squished in the chair cushion. So yeah, it took me forever to do that one sock. And so now I'm sad too, because my friend who likes long, tall socks, I'm pretty sure I won't have enough yarn to do a pair of tall socks. So either what I'm going to do is do shorty socks, because I will definitely have enough for. And then if I see another color, that reminds me of her, I will crank it at the shop and then just do tall Afterthought socks. So yeah, it was just kind of a bummer. There's no mistakes on this, but the fact that I was finally over halfway done with this project, and now I'm at the beginning again. So yeah, another tale of knitting woe. And that colorway, by the way, is Supernova Dyeworks in the colorway Vibe Checks. So that is all of my work. You're like, oh, that was pretty quick. Yes, but we're going to get into it. So quickly, I do have a podcaster highlight that is a new to me podcast. and that is Pine Barren Knits. That is Keisha and Hope. Keisha is a designer under the name of Simply Vintage Designs, and Hope is a dyer behind Homemade Yarn Co., which I will talk more about in acquisitions. So yes, go check out their channel. I've only watched one episode, but they have really great chemistry and fun to watch. So check them out. I will have them linked. All right, next on the agenda, we're going to briefly talk goals before we get into acquisitions, because like I said, acquisitions / vacation talk is going to be a long one. So let's talk goals. Okay, so September. I think my yarn in is the biggest I've ever had in 1 month. Keeping in mind, I had the retreat, which you guys saw the episode where I got lots of things, which I didn't pay for. I trade things, all that. And then vacation, which I just went crazy in the best way. So my yarn in for September was 27 skeins. That is 50 grams or higher I count as a skein. And yarn out was 3. I had 3 goals of things to finish or catch up on. My DVD socks, which you saw finished. My Anesidora shawl, which I completed up to the yarn I have. Sorry, you hear my dogs tap dancing in here. And the last one was the braided bralette, which I have frogged. So I believe I talked about that on the last podcast. Basically, I got to the strap and realized I misread the pattern and I should have made a size 2 sizes smaller. So that got frogged. All right, so for October goals, of course, DVD socks. I would like to finish the party line scarf because that's a very easy, quick project. And I would like to at least get to the sleeve separation on the Diggory. I mean, I think if I focused on that, I could get that done. But again, the amount of whips I have, I know myself and I float around. I got so much done the last week because I only had 3 projects to work on. So getting the sleeve separation, which is basically doubling the knit I have done so far, is my goal. And I wrote in general on here, finish some whips, because I've never been one to care how many whips I have, but I have an IKEA cart here next to me, and that usually keeps my active whips on, and it is full of active whips. So I need to focus. I don't know which ones, but I need to focus on some things and work on getting some things done, just for my peace of mind. All right, so that is it for goals. So if you've made it this far, thank you. We're going to go into acquisitions, knitting, and I'm going to go into some knitting because I have all my vacation purchases here because why not? It's my podcast, and I'm going to talk about vacation because I had the best time. Thus the love and happiness title this week. So first of all, I'm going to pause this a second and get recalculated on this table. All right. So I do have a few acquisitions that are not vacation related. So I'm going to go into those first. First of all, the day I podcast. After I finished, I received my order from Night Owl Fibers, who is Rachel. This is a colorway she had brought to the trunk show at the shop, and I didn't snag it quick enough and it sold out. So as soon as she posted that it was available, I immediately bought it. This is Harvest Moon. So love this. And because I had met Rachel, I asked her if she would be willing to donate a prize for the Stripe Along 2024. So I am not going to unwrap this, but this is a mystery self-striping yarn that will be a prize for Stripe Along 2024. So thank you so much, Rachel, for that donation. Appreciate that. All right, next up, also self-striping. I love Tiny Human Knits. If you've been here a while, they're usually my favorite sock sets. One, because I love the high twist. Two, because they're 50-gram sock sets, which I don't need more than that. So she came out with this color, which is so blown out. I mean, that green is not. That green is bright. So this is the highlighter, and I looked yesterday, which was Tuesday, October 1st, and she still had some of these. This is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 200 yards, 50 grams. So I really wanted this, but she is from Canada. So I was like, oh, I hate just getting this. She usually uploads things on her website in small batches, which is cool for her, but shipping to Canada, I'm like, oh, I don't want to just get like this. Like, I want to get something else. But she had a special thing on the website. Now, I can't tell you what the price was. There are no more on her website. But it was a ridiculous deal. She had a mystery 3-pack of full skeins, self-striping yarn, mystery 3-pack, and I feel like it was the price of 1 skein of yarn. So essentially, you're getting 3 skeins for 1. So I will show you what I got in there. This is the first one. It is just says not quite right. I think all of these are basically she doesn't sell anymore, or color she doesn't have, or they were like mistakes or whatever. So this one just says not quite right. But it is 400 yards, 100 grams, 8% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Love it. Love, love, love. The next one, again, love it. Very fall. This is Platinum DK. The other one is Fingering. This one is DK. This is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 245 yards for 100 grams. So I could still make socks out of these. Very autumnal. The third one is this. And I'm trying to move so that light is not so crazy. This is the Nutcracker. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 246 yards, 100 grams. This is another DK weight. This one, if you've stuck around this far in the video, congratulations. You have a chance to win this yarn. I'm going to give this away this episode. So all you do is have to comment below, not anything specific. It's just a bonus for sticking with me this far into the episode. So if you would like a chance to win this beautiful self-striping yarn, which you could make and enter for Stripe Along 2024, then just comment below this and I will announce the winner the next podcast. So that is what I got from Tiny Human Knits. All right. And the one other thing I got, non-vacation related, I just got in the mail yesterday because it was just released yesterday, was Patty Lyon's Knitting Bag of Tricks, the official workbook. She came out with, was it last year or the year before? Knitting Bag of Tricks, which I also have. This is meant to work with that other book. I have just skimmed it. Here's kind of what it looks like inside. So it has exercises, which it has you doing homework in there. It's really well done, well put together. It has some stickers in here, and it has my work, different charts and things like that. Super, super love it. I love Patty Lyons. Yeah, love, 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 love. So that is all of my pre-vacation acquisitions. So time to have a sip. And let's get into vacation talk, shall we? All right. So for vacation, like I said, half of our vacation was in New York and half was in Rhode Island. My daughter and I went with another couple, and it was kind of just a little informal. Like we all just talked about something we wanted to do, and our friend Scott was really great about planning out our days and making sure we hit all the things everybody wanted. It was super great. I had planned to go to 2 yarn stores, which I made it to those, plus found an additional one. So let's start with the first one I hit, which was Argyle Yarn Shop in Brooklyn, New York. I wanted to go here of all the New York shops because I had sample knit the pressed flower shawls for them, and I thought it'd be cool to walk into that store and see my sample knit, which I did. So I will post some pictures right here of the shop and Esther, who is the owner. If you follow her on Instagram, she always makes cute little videos for her Instagram. She was super sweet. I bought no yarn, but I did not come away empty-handed. She has a very small shop, but so cute. I bought a couple of things. First of all, I saw these Oh Wow bags. I've seen these before. This is one big Oh Wow bag. It has the snaps up top, and then it has the zipper in here. And then inside, it has an additional bag, which is included in there. So another snap up top, zipper in front. And I feel like this set was like $35, which I thought was a steal for 2 nice project bags. So I love these so much. And then I bought 2 small things. One, I have lost my wraps per inch tool, so I thought it'd be great to get something with the Argyle name on it. So it's just wraps per inch. And then I got this cute little holder for stitch markers or whatever. It's just a little prickly, and it's just a slide case. But I thought that was super cute. And that's all I got from Argyle. So I left with those purchases. I'm going to kind of go through the yarn acquisitions first, and then I'm going to hit on some other cool finds I found on vacation. So the next yarn shop that I went to that I was planning on going to was Skein. If you've been here, you've heard me talk about them. I love them. They have a podcast. It's owned by Lori, and Justine does the podcast with her. And I just love them. I feel like we would be BFFs if I lived there. And I knew I was going to throw down some money in there. And I did. So you saw earlier I had the skein. I got the Fluff, the Le Garcon Fluff. So that I took with me from the store. Everything else I had them ship because I did not have any room in my luggage for it. So everything I bought at Skein, though, was things I have never seen in person. So that was also another reason why I went crazy, because I'm just like, I'm so happy. I'm not buying yarns that I know and I already love or whatever. It was all things brand new to me. So, you know I love Oh Wow Amsterdam, and I had actually purchased 3 of the Oh Wow bags from Skein online for my friend anniversary presents with Christy and my Lori. And I found these. So they have these cute little Oh Wow notebooks just to slide over your notebook. So I thought that'd be great. I can reuse it with every notebook. So just a plain notebook with a book cover. I love it. They threw in a Skein Scoop podcast sticker for me. Right? And I bought a little bag. First of all, if you watch Skein Scoop, which I will link to below, they are one of, okay, sorry, brain working too fast. If you've been here, you know I love podcasts. I watch podcasts more than I watch TV. Right now on my watch later, I have about 70. So I am super behind, but there's about a handful of podcasters that as soon as they drop a podcast, I don't put them in order like the other ones are in order. There's a handful of ones I watch immediately. Skein is one of them. Needles at the Ready is the other. Michael, Piece for Piece. Devin from Knitting McPurley. And, oh, she's from Nebraska and I can't remember her name. Amy. I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen and I put a link below to all those. Those ones, when they have a new podcast, I drop everything and I watch it immediately. So I'm exactly up to date. And Skein is one of those that they always have the coolest looking bags. Do I need project bags? No. I mean, do I need yarn? No. But I was really trying not to buy like a bunch of bags. But this one was small and I just had to get it. It's like a little quilted bag. There's a little M here. I'm not sure the brand of it. That's the only thing on there. But just adorable little bag. Even if I don't use it for yarn, I feel like it's like almost like the perfect little travel bag for your toiletries. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, then there's one other thing that is non-yarn that I got. I had never seen one of these from Trinkets, which is, my friend Allison pointed out, which is the sweater care. I never can remember those symbols on my laundry. And so I loved this. And then on the other side is how to care for a sweater. But I really got it for that. I love it. So, all right, let's get into the yarn. So, I walked around that store over and over again and was really trying to be decisive about what I wanted to get. There were three things, well, there's essentially two. There was two places I kept walking back to and I'm like, okay, I have to get something because I can't stop thinking about it. So first of all was the Le Garcon. I mean, I ended up getting the Fluff. I had never seen Le Garcon in person. I watched their podcast too. And I just kept staring at their yarn. So they had the British DK. So I got these two. I don't know exactly what I'm going to make. These are, of course, DK. I thought these colors looked really lovely together. And I thought if I could find a 2-skein shawl, something, these would work really nice together. So it is 100 gram skein. 273 yards, 250 meters. It is 70% BFL wool, 30% Masham wool, non-superwash. And this color is Taylor's Lavender Haze. And this is the same makeup, and this is Kirby's Pink. So I just kept staring at how beautiful this yarn was, and I had to get something. And all the colors were gorgeous, so I felt like I had to get two colors. So I'm like, I'm hoping I can find eventually 2-skein something, DK. And then I got their Fluff. The other one was a new to me indie dyer, which I've already actually mentioned, which is Hope. Hope made Yarn Co. I just was so attracted to this color. If you know me, you know I am a sucker for a great speckle. And this one has it. Those speckles are lovely. And this is just, I'm thinking that it's just kind of the natural with just these speckles only. And I love it. I kept thinking about this color. Like, do I need another single fingering? No, absolutely not. But I wanted this yarn so bad. So I got it. Don't know what it's going to be. Maybe socks. Who knows? Maybe just eye candy for quite a while. All right, another one I was excited about, again, have already mentioned, is Needles at the Ready, which they are good friends with Justine and Lori. They had a trunk show there a week or two before I got there, and I love their podcast, and they had some of their yarn still there. So I had to get a skein of that. And I picked out this one. This is the colorway Ocean Jasper. I forgot I didn't even mention this colorway name. This is JoJo's favorite, by the way. In the colorway Lichen. All right, so this one is the Athena Sock Base Ocean Jasper, 85% superwash, extra fine merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards, 4-ply. All right, 3 more. This one was another one that I saw the wall and I was very intrigued by. Reminds me of my hand-spun yarn. This is Making Tracks. It's from Junction Fiber Mill. It is 100% American wool. Let's see. It's from Vermont. And the colorway of this is Tangerine Twist. I'm thinking like a hat out of this. 210 yards, DK weight. All right, and then these two I got simply to play with. Probably not enough to make a full project of anything I want, but it might be one of those where I bought it, I play with it, I can make a swatch, and then I know where I can order it from if I want it. So the first one that intrigued me was Barocco. This is Ultra Alpaca. This is the Starry Night Mix. Sorry, my dogs had to go out. All right, so this is 50% superfine alpaca, 50% Peruvian wool, and it's 219 yards, 200 meters to 100 grams. So it's just nice and squishy, and so again, I just kind of got this to play with it, maybe make a swatch of in the future if I want to make something that I know where I can get it from. And then there was one more yarn that I got very last minute before I checked out that was also similar to that I just was intrigued by. And that is this Isager Eco Soft. This is 56% alpaca, 44% organic cotton. And it looks like, and I'm not sure, I'm just saying, it almost looks like that blown yarn where it's like a tube. So it is a 50 gram, 125 meters. This is the natural undyed colorway. And it was just so soft, and I don't know what I would make with it, but again, I just kind of wanted to have it in my stash to maybe make a swatch for it if I needed it. So love it. That is what I got from Skein. Then, like I mentioned, we accidentally found another yarn store, and I'm sorry, you can't be a knitter and find a yarn store and like not go in, you know. So we went in, because there was in Rhode Island, that second half of our vacation was much more laid back. We went to my yarn store, and then we were looking for lighthouses, and then there's lots of cute little towns with like little shops you kind of walk. So this was one of those towns. This is in North Kingston, Rhode Island, and this one is called the Mermaids Purl. Now, as soon as I saw the name of it, I'm like, I know I've heard of this yarn shop before, but I couldn't have told you it was there or anything like that. I was kind of, yarned out from my major purchase of Skein, but I walked in the store. First of all, it was beautiful. Again, hopefully I'll be putting pictures of all of these stores, the pictures I took as I'm talking about them. And this one was no different. It was very beautiful. I didn't really get to talk to the people working there. They seemed to be busy on a project when we were there. But right when I walked in, the one thing I noticed is they had a wall of felting and beautiful felting projects. And they had like all the different color wool that you can kind of peel off how much you want to pick for your project. So I thought that was super cool. I super loved the colors in the store, the vibe of it. It was beautiful. But in the very front of the store, I saw this. I mean, come on, hello. Brights, again, neon pink, neon orange. And so this is obviously 2 skeins of yarn twisted together. So this is by Moondrake. This is called Unicorn Clouds, and the colorway is Juicy Fruits. So they have this yarn, which at our shop we call Slub. This is called Bubble Bubble yarn. And then the mohair, which is the kid mohair silk, is in here. But they're the same color. So this is 2 skeins of yarn. And they had a beautiful shawl. And so I asked them if one of these would make that shawl. And they said 2 of them would. The shawl was huge and super simplistic. They said, yeah, you get the pattern free if you buy the yarn. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got, there's the pattern. You can't really see it well. This is just a free pattern, really easy. They just gave me a printed copy of it. It's a 4-row repeat, and it's just alternating the mohair and like the slub yarn. So I bought 2 of these to make a giant, gorgeous pattern. Oh, and now the mohair is all up on my nose. So that is all I bought at that shop. But again, pictures of the shop because it was super pretty. But I was like, okay, I just spent a lot of money on yarn, but I could not pass up this. And spoiler alert, even though I talk about all my whips, I'm thinking this is going to be cast on today or tomorrow at the very least. It's going to be wound up today because tomorrow, October 3rd, is the cast on date for the Stephen West Mystery Yearly Shawl. I am not doing that, but at the shop we are having a cast on party. So I thought I will have this to cast on while everyone else is also casting on a shawl. And I think that'd be super fun. So you'll get to see that next time. All right, so that is all the yarn talk. If you are here just for the yarn talk, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I am going to briefly talk a little bit more about vacation and show what other goodies I got if you want to stick around. And this probably isn't going to be really in order because it's all over the place. All right, I will try to make this in order the best I can. So first half, New York trip. What did I purchase? I feel like I did pretty good on the non-nitty purchases. So what did I purchase? We went to Chelsea Market, and I had never been there. I've been to New York a few times, but I had never been to Chelsea Market, and man, that place is so cool. I ate so much good food. I'm not even talking about that, but so good. Anyways, they had a cutie little shop in there. It was like all Asian things, which, if you know, I love K-pop. I love Studio Ghibli. I mean, of course, Hello Kitty. And they had some cool stuff in there. So I came out with a couple things in there. Here's my box. If you are into Studio Ghibli movies, you will recognize this. This is from Spirited Away. And I just thought this was a beautiful cup. And it has like all the characters, and it has like the Japanese name and then in English. So it has my Soot Sprites. I just love this so much. So this definitely had to come home with me. And then we're going to talk about BTS because I love them so much. So BTS has little characters called Tiny Tams, and they're little bit versions of them. Like they have BTS games on the phone that has the Tiny Tam cartoon versions of them. And I've never seen the Tiny Tam figurines in person before, but they had them on display, but I couldn't find them in the store anywhere. And I'm like, where are these? And she's like, well, I'll sell you the 2 on display if we can't find them. I'm like, fine, done. Well, she found them. They were mystery boxes though, so you didn't know which character you were getting. So I pressed my luck and I bought 3. And thankfully, at least I didn't get 3 of the same ones. I did not get my J-Hope, but it's all right. So These are all from the music video Dynamite. So they're tiny Tams with this. It comes with little stands. So have JK, Jungkook. We have V. And we have Jimin. Don't know where they're going to go. Don't care. Love them very much. All right. Then, also in New York, we kind of happened, the day we went to the Met, we kind of happened upon a fair, or I don't even know, just like all these tents like on a street with food and shops and things. And this was actually, I think, my first New York purchase. I just saw this cute little wallet, and I thought that was cute. So I bought that. And then my daughter, this is her first trip to New York. So we went to Times Square just see Times Square. And we just kind of saw what shops were there. And I had forgot that Times Square had a line Friends, which again, if you are into K-pop, you probably know what that is. They make plushies and all kinds of things. And BTS has their own line called BT21, which I have different figurines of them. Each of them like drew their own characters and they made them into these line Friends. Well, so they had all this stuff. I could not decide what to get. So my bias of BTS is J-Hope. He is not my favorite BT21 character. I think his is a little weird, but they had knit versions of them. So I had to represent and get this one. I like better than his regular stuff because the colors are more muted. So anyways, that is Mang, which is J-Hope's. And then, because my hair is just long enough to put back now, they had Suga's character, which is Shuki. And I got a hair clip. But the most exciting is in that store, they had the like life-size characters of all these there. And I had forgot. I know that I've watched a video on this where at one point BTS was there and they signed them all. So literally the life-size versions of all their characters were in that shop with their signatures all over. So I freaked out, like my friend Scott said that he was seeing the 14-year-old girl version of me, which is accurate. I totally freaked out. Like I was so excited. So I got some pictures of that. And then there was a little photo booth where my daughter and I took pictures. So that was a fun surprise that I didn't even think about seeing. So that was cool. And then I think that's it for New York purchases. And then during Rhode Island, like I said, we went through a couple little towns of little shops. And I didn't get too much more. First thing I found was this bag, which was in a clothing shop. And also comes with like a little wallet, little zipper pocket. Again, like I think $35 for this. It was huge. And I love it. It's very fall. Probably will become my fall purse. It's become my, where I've been keeping all my acquisitions from New York in. And then we went in a little shop, which it was over when I felt this thing. So this is a bunny. It kind of looks, I guess you can kind of tell from there. So here it's floppy ears. And its little feet. It is the softest thing ever. I just want to cuddle with it. And I was pinning it on the outside of that bag. And just, it almost can be like a fidget toy where you just kind of pet it to be calm. I totally did not need, but again, I just love it. All right, and then we went into a cool, like, gemstone place. And I got a couple things. First of all, I got 3 bracelets. And it was extremely reasonably priced. Very much so. So love these so much. Then you know that I enjoy a board game or two. So I got some really beautiful dice. Love these. And then after I had purchased that, I saw this sitting there, and then I had to purchase it again because I love this. So it already has the clasp up here. So I need to go buy a necklace and put this on because it's gorgeous. And then the last thing I got was we made one more stop to like kind of a typical souvenir shop, the last Rhode Island town we were in, because my daughter wanted to get a Rhode Island sweatshirt. And I got some miscellaneous stickers. So, know your worth. You can do hard things. Of course, I got like a retro cassette tape. I got an awesome Rhode Island sticker. And then they actually had some knitting stickers and pins. So, Knitting Nerd and Born to Knit. And then I got a pin because I thought it was funny. Not today, Satan, with a big rose on it, kind of blown out. And that is it. Are you still here? If you are still here, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. This was an extra long one. The next one will probably seem positively short after this. So I appreciate you. I thank you so much. Please subscribe and like if you want to stick around and be notified. I podcast every 2 weeks. So I will see you again then in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.